and his family. May Allah bless them all, and all of you, will tawfiqat to you, please.
اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد وعجل فرجهم. Thank you so much, Brother Mahdi. Thank you so much, Brother Farhan. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. يا أيها الذين آمنوا كتب عليكم الصيام كما كتب على الذين من قبلكم لعلكم تتقون. يا أيها الذين آمنوا كتب عليكم الصيام. Fasting has been written upon you. Why? Allah gave the end result. لعلكم تتقون. So the relationship between fasting and the taqwa is by the order of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. If you want to have taqwa, fasting, right fasting, lead to taqwa Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And the taqwa is very important for two things. Very important. First, Allah said in the Quran, إِنَّمَا يَتَقَبَّلَ اللَّهُ مِنَ الْمُتَّقِينَ. So if you want to Allah accept any deeds, salah, zakat, khums, ziyarah, hajj, fasting, anything you want to Allah accept, you have to have the taqwa, which has a relation to the fasting. That is number one. Number two, if you want to get benefit from the Quran, if you want the Quran to be your guidance, you have to have taqwa. Alif Lam Mim, ذلك الكتاب لا ريب فيه هدى للمتقين. If you didn't have taqwa, read the Quran day and night. You will not get benefited anything. You have to have the taqwa. And one of the means of the taqwa is fasting. That's what Allah said. يا أيها الذين آمنوا كتب عليكم الصيام كما كتب على الذين من قبلكم لعلكم تتقون. صلوا على محمد وآل محمد. Also the Prophet ﷺ said that the month of Ramadan, شهر رمضان سيد الشهور. شهر Ramadan is the master of all months. And the Prophet said, like the lion is the master of all beasts. Right? He's the king of the jungle. Shahr Ramadan is the master of all months. And the Prophet said, I am the master of all prophets and messengers. And Imam Ali alayhi salam, he is the master of all awsiya and the awliya. So that is the words of the Prophet to give us the importance of the month of Ramadan. That is the month of Allah. Shahrullah. That is the month of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So we have to watch Allah during this month and try to bring ourselves more closer to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and take this opportunity to get rid of all these bad habits which we used to practice all year around. Backbiting, gossip, listen to things which you are not allowed to listen, doing practices which we are not allowed to practice, hear things which we are not allowed to hear. That is the time when you try to train yourself to get rid of all of that. So by the end of this 30 days, I guarantee you that you will be enabled to get rid of all these habits finally and eternally. And that will be the main achievement to you. So just try to make commitment with yourself. That's something between you and yourself. You know exactly what bad things you are doing. Try at least 2 or 3 of these things. Try to get rid of in the month of Ramadan and see the effect after that. You will find that these things, these habits, which is not Islamic, has gone. Yes. So that is very important. So when you come out of Ramadan, when we gather together inshallah for Salatul Eid, you achieve something in your life. It is not just days past and we are looking for the next Ramadan. No, you make major changes in your life, and that will for the best of our communities. Sallu ala Muhammad wa ala. We choose the theme for the lectures of for the month of Ramadan. We choose it is all regarding the family. So we say that Ramadan this year, Shahr Ramadan this year is the month of the family. That's why, alhamdulillah, our very well educated brothers, all of them youth, mashallah, including Brother Mahdi, they are youth, and inshallah, each one of them will take one part of this complicated relationship within the family and discuss it in details. First, the relationship between wife and husband. Second, the relationship between parents and children, parenting. Third, the relationship between siblings, between brothers and sisters inside the family, how this relation should be. Fourth, the relationship between the person and his cousins and nephews and his relatives around him. And then finally, the relationship between the person and his neighbors. Why we focus on the family? Because the family is the brick of the building of the community. If you imagine that the community is a building, any building, how you build it? From bricks, right? The bricks of building the community is a family. If you have a good families, then definitely you have a healthy community. And if you have a defective family or not functioning family, then this will affect the whole community. Actually, most of our problems in our community is regarding to the family. That is the main reason behind it, nothing else. That's why we try to address these issues. MashaAllah, we have very good speakers. The best thing in them, do you know what? What? Yes, exactly. That they didn't look for any money reward. When money enters the religion, it spoils religion. Those scholars who request money, they are selling the word of Allah. And the word of Allah is never for sale. Never. Never. That is the rule of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And He mentioned it in the Quran. What He said in Surah Yasin, He said, اتبعوا من لا يسألكم أجرا. Follow or listen to those who didn't ask for rewards. Any reward. That's the Quran is saying. That is the Quran. And on the tongue of the prophets, all the prophets. وَيَا قَوْمِ لَا أَسْأَلُكُمْ عَلَيْهِ أَجْرٍ. If the prophets, all the prophets and the messengers, they didn't ask for reward, how come a person who is very, 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 very low than any prophet or messenger come and charge 2,000, 3,000 for just 1 hour? That is more than the president is taking. The president of the United States, his salary per hour is never come to that amount of money. That's put a lot of burden on our centers. We need to break this taboo. We need to break it. Through what? Through encouraging people to carry out the mission. They are not bringing for us ayat from the Quran. The Quran has been revealed and ends. What new? They are just repeating themselves and just collecting money. And this send a very bad message to the community. And that's why we never find barakah. No barakah. People, when the holy months come, whether Ramadan or Muharram or, oh, who is speaking in this place? Who is speaking in this place? Who is speaking in the Mahfal? Who is speaking in Astana? Who is speaking in Masjid Ali? What is this? That's why they start to increase their request for money more and more, because he can bring crowds, and the crowds means more donations for the center. It shouldn't be like that. These things, when religion becomes business, it gets spoiled. And never expect any barakah. And that's what happened. Never any barakah from any Islamic center because of this. Sallu ala Muhammad wa alihi. So, inshallah, I will start the first lecture, and inshallah, our brothers or our children, because they are, mashallah, they are young, Brother Zain, Brother Ijlal, Brother Mahdi, the master of youth, Brother Mu'in, Brother Farhan, Brother Walid, Brother Hassan, he is not with us today. And inshallah tomorrow will be Walid, will be Niqash, will be all our young children here. So by that we make sure that the mission is continued between the generations. Not just to come here and sit down and waiting for Mr. Right to stand up here and they listen to him like, and whatever he's saying, they have to do. No. Allah never meant the deen to be like that. Allah wants to every one of us to be part of the process. Not just to sit down and listen and go home and that's it. No, be a part. Look yourself, research. Go have a relationship with the Quran, with the tafsir, with the narrations. That's very important. Sallu ala Muhammad. So we'll start from the very beginning or very early step in forming the family. The family formed of what? A male and female. A male and female. That is how the family starts. That is a design of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. He wanted like that. He created Adam first, but with Adam alone without a female, there will be no humanity. So Allah created for him a wife, Eve, Hawa alayha salam, to be his wife, and he sent them to earth to form these communities of humanity all over the years. So the family is the stone or the brick of the community, and the husband and wife or the male and female are the main component of this brick, which is a family. It is exactly like the positive and the negative in your outlet. There is no outlet without two things, positive and the negative. That is creates the electric current, which you can then use for many useful, to have light, to have TV, to have everything. One only can't. Okay, so we'll start from the beginning. The husband and wife or the spouse. Now I just want to discuss this very important issue. MashaAllah, most of you are married, and those who are not married yet, may Allah inshallah give them the good marriage and the suitable marriage inshallah. But you can say, okay, why I have to hire? I married already. I have children. No. You have children. And those children are your responsibility. You have to raise them from now how to select their spouses, whether boys or girls. Who will teach them if you didn't? You have to be capable of educating them. But if you yourself is ignorant, how you can teach your children? Then you can come and cry, oh, my son married a very bad girl, or my daughter married a very bad man, and problems started. Now you didn't teach your son or your daughter how to select a spouse, which is very, very important. That is your job and the mother's job, to teach your children how to do that. So we have to use, and inshallah all our brothers here, we have to use the Quran, that's main guidance, and the Sunnah of the Prophet to tell us what the Prophets, our Imams, what they told us about this process of selecting a spouse, of selecting your partner in the journey of the life. So this journey continue until the end of your life, not just cut in the middle or in the very early beginning or in the late. People now divorce while in the age of 60s. They get divorced. The percentage of divorce now is so high, and in our countries, in Pakistan, in Egypt, in India, in Lebanon, in Iraq, everywhere, is so high. It is so high. Here in Masjid Ali, Maulana Ridwan Rizvi, he said that from every 100 marriage I did in the masjid, 90% of them come within 2 months, just 2 months for the divorce. What is the reason? What is the reason? The bad selection, the incorrect choice of our life. What the Prophet ﷺ guide us? What he told us? The Prophet ﷺ said that تنكح المرأة لجمالها لحسبها لمالها لدينها فاظفر بذات الدين تربت يدك. So the Prophet is saying that people, when they come to select a wife, some of them look for the physical appearance, good looking, male or female. My talk is not just to males or no, to everybody. Just you look to physical appearance. He's a good looking guy. She's a good looking girl. The Prophet said that people do that. And the other reason people marry women, because of their lineage. They have a very famous lineage. Like sometimes in the Shia community, you want to marry from a Sayyid family. Who tells you that all the Sayyid families, they have a very good people? No, like any family. They have the good people and they have a very bad people. Right? Yes, some of the sons of our Imams alayhim salam, they were not good from the children of the Imam. So the Prophet said people sometimes choose because of the lineage. لحسبها. And the other people choose a wife based on her wealth, or choose a husband based on his wealth. His money, how much money he's making. How much the amount of wealth they have. Or this girl, how much money she will inherit from her parents, for example. Or how much money she's making from her profession or her job. She's a doctor, she's a lawyer, so she can help at home. So in looking for that factor. And finally, people select wife based on the religion. That she is religious. She is practicing deen. The Prophet, after reviewing these 4 categories, the Prophet gave the recommendation. The Prophet said, sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. He said, فَاظْفَرْ بِذَاتِ الدِّينِ. The Prophet enumerated all the categories. And what recommendation, Ya Rasulullah? He said, choose the spouse which has a deen, has a religion, who is religious. That is the correct choice. فَاصْفَرْ بِذَاتِ الدِّينِ تَرِبَتْ يَدَاكَ means that you will benefit from that. Yeah, that you will be winner from this deal. Imagine the marriage is a deal and you come out of this deal winning. فَاصْفَرْ بِذَاتِ الدِّينِ تَرِبَتْ يَدَاكَ. Also the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad, told us this famous recommendation. The Prophet was talking about the best of wives. Who is the best of wives? He said, the best of wives are the one. Forget about the modern civilization. We are talking about the deen now. Don't come and tell me, but this is very rare now. Who can do that? No, the deen is deen. The Prophet said the best of wife, she is the one who, when her husband ask her or order her to do it, she obeyed. إذا أمرها أطاعت. If you order her, she obeys her husband. وإذا نظر إليها سرته. And if you look at her, you find a beauty in her. When you look at her, she introduces happiness to his heart. She tries all the time to beautify herself for her husband, not for foreigners. Not to buy the zina to put it for foreigners. But when she is back home, she took everything out. She put the perfume, the good perfume, for outside. But inside the home, no, the smell of onion and garlic, and that's it. She tried to beautify herself when she's going out for work. But inside home, no. The Prophet said, no. عبادة المرأة حسن التبعل لزوجها. The worshipping of a woman, not in Quran, not in praying 1,000 rak'ah, not in fasting. The worshipping of the lady, of the female, is in beautifying herself for her husband. That is a very important thing. When the female neglects, then no wonder that the husband start to look outside the house. Because that is a human nature. He want to see the same pretty girl who he loved in the beginning and marry. Now he in front of totally different creation. Because of this. What is this? That is not the goods which I bought. What happened? Yes. Well, that is all the reason behind failing of a lot of marriages. وإذا نظر إليها سرته. إذا أمرها أطاعته. وإذا نظر إليها سرته. وإذا أقسم عليها أبرته. If he swear upon her with something, she fulfill his swear. If he swear upon her with something, أقسم عليكي that you have to do this thing, she fulfill. She will never fail his swear. وإذا أقسم عليها أبرت. بر القسم means that you do the قسم. You fulfill the terms of this قسم. وإذا أقسم عليها أبرت. And the last thing, وإذا غاب عنها حفظته في نفسها وفي ماله. And if he is away out of the home for work or business or whatever, she protected herself and protected his money. She didn't allow anyone to enter his home while he is absent. Oh, but he is the best friend of my husband. No, he's not allowed. As long as he's a stranger, not to enter the house as long as the husband is not there. Even the friends of your adult child. You have a child 18 years old. His friends are 18, 19, 17, they are baligh. You are not allowed to allow them inside the house while the husband is not there. To protect herself from the eyes of other men. حفظته في نفسها and in his money. Not just because he's out, she start to spend from the money of her husband like crazy. She start to use that credit card, do whatever you want, but he is out. When he comes, he will pay the bill. No, that is not right. حفظته في نفسها وفي ماله. That is the guidance of the Prophet ﷺ in how to select a spouse, whether male or female. The Quran carries to us many examples of the marriages which was very suitable, and the marriages which failed, and the marriages which totally was disaster, like the marriage of آسيا بنت مزاحم and فرعون. It was a disaster. So good woman to marry a very bad tyrant. The marriage of Lut and his wife. She conspired against her husband. The marriage of Hud and his wife. She was people believing him. She was the first one to belie him. And on the other hand, we have a very successful marriages. And the best of marriages was between Imam Ali alayhi salam and Sayyidah Fatima Zahra. That is the ideal marriage. Now let's come to practicality. You want to talk to your children how to choose a wife. There is something very important. I just want to all of you to understand it and to carry to your next generation. When male or female, it doesn't matter. They have to look for something very important when they choose their spouse. What is the thing? They called it the compatibility. There should be a compatibility between the two couples. If there is no compatibility, this marriage is sentenced to divorce definitely, sooner or later. Compatibility, that both couples are compatible. Now, if you want to download an app, the iPhone system is compatible with things, and the Android is compatible with other things. Sometimes you want to download an app and the message comes to you, no, your phone is old, it is not compatible. Now you understand what's the meaning of compatibility? We use it a lot in our life. In the time of computer, many software, it is not compatible with your old laptop or computer, right? Male and female are the same thing. And here there is a big difference between compatibility and differences. Yes, we could have differences. Male and female could have differences, but they are compatible. Examples. A man who is so stingy, bakhil, he didn't spend. He is so careful to collect money together. While the wife is so generous. Is this couple compatible for each other? No way. No way. That's serious incompatibility here. Another example. The wife is so nervous. Her approach to any issue with high voice and complaining and irrational reactions. While the husband is so logic, is so quiet, and he loves to make the correct approaches to solve the problem. Do you think this couple will be compatible with each other? Absolutely not. One of the spouse is so religious. He takes his deen serious in every aspect. While the other spouse, either she's not religious at all, or she took her religion lightly. She didn't pray, or pray not on the time. While the husband is so careful. At the beginning of the time, he is on the prayer rack to perform his prayer. Do you think there will be compatibility between these two couples? Of course not. A wife or a husband who raised to not to watch a relationship with his relatives, not to respect his parents or his grandparents or his uncles or his cousins, while the wife coming from the family which has a very good relationship with all her family members. Here there is a serious incompatibility. This couple will never be successful with each other. A spouse which has a lot of ambitions in the life, all his ambitions in the dunya. He or she is a doctor, he want to be with specialized, and after specialization, he more specialization, and he want to not only one office, he work in 2 offices, he work in many hospitals, he traveling to study, he. While the other spouse, his ambitions is only for the hereafter. The only ambition that he want to assure for himself or herself a safe exit from this life to the hereafter. Do you think these 2 couples, when they marry together, there will be any kind of compatibility between them? No. So we have to teach our children how to look for any incompatibilities between him and her, or between her and the potential man she is looking for marriage. One of the spouse is so courageous. He has a character. He can face others. He can deal with the situation. While the other couple or the other spouse is so coward. He fears even from his shadow. How those people could be compatible to each other? No way. No way it could be compatibility. That is one thing. So just always put in the heart and the mind of your children the issue of compatibility when they have to choose their spouse, regardless of the physical appearance, she is pretty or he is pretty or not, regardless of the wealth or the money, regardless of the lineage. Forget about all of that. Wallahi, I know tragedy is happening here. Because a family, or she has a girl, there is a lot of people come asking for the hand of the girl. No. They are looking for a Sayyid. They bring a Sayyid from Pakistan. I'm telling you real, true stories. They bring the Sayyid from Pakistan. He come here. They give him the green card. The next day after he get his citizenship, he said to her, bye-bye. Come on, but you are Sayyid. Ha ha ha. Sayyid what? We have said Mahdi only. One Sayyid. You see? So that is not that not necessarily he is a good person. Look for the compatibility. Make sure that your daughter or your son, when he choose somebody who is compatible with him. Otherwise, he is going to end his marriage prematurely in divorce. The second issue, something they called it adaptability. What is adaptability? It is the power of each one of the spouses to adapt with the other one. People differ a lot in this amount of adaptability. So look for a person who has more adaptability. So because now you are making good money, but you never know what will happen tomorrow. Maybe you lost your job and you stay for 1 year without income. Can your wife or your spouse, can he adapt to this new situation or not? Your parents are living separately, but suddenly they become older or become sick. They have to move to live with you. Now there is a new situation. Is your spouse can adapt or able to adapt with this new situation or no? The life now will change to a hell because your parents are living inside the house. Adaptability. You are, mashallah, you are healthy, you are good, but suddenly you get affected by disease. God forbid, you get affected by chronic renal failure problems or any kind of diseases. Can the spouse adapt with this new situation or no? The spouse want to find an exit from this marriage because this new situation. So adaptability is something very important to look in your future spouse, regardless male or female. Actually, it is more important for female when at the time come to choose her husband to watch these two things: compatibility and adaptability within the limit of the deen which the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam designed for us. Thank you so much for your time, and inshallah I will leave this issue here, and inshallah our brothers will start to complete this series, which I hope and I wish that it will be useful, enlightening for all the community members, inshallah. Don't look at how many people are sitting in front of you. You are doing for something for the sake of Allah. Some of those scholars, not only they request a lot of money, no, they require a certain number of people audience. Otherwise, they will not go to the member. If you find only 10, no, but you took money, but still, no, that is, I can't speak for less than 50 or more. Otherwise, it becomes a shame. No, we are not like that. Alhamdulillah. We are not looking for the dunya. We are not looking for any money reward. We are just servants for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And that's why Allah always will bless this place. Inshallah. Always He will bless this place. With good people. Not with a big number of people. Forget about the numbers. We are the Shia. What's our percent in the Ummah? 8%? 8.5%? But we are on the right path. Alhamdulillah. So don't compare here to any other place that we have hundreds. No. Actually, in most cases, more number means more misguidance. Little number, this means that those people are on the right path. Because this is one of the characteristics of the right path, that the people on it are so limited. ثُلَّةٌ مِّنَ الْأَوَّلِينَ وَقَلِيلٌ مِّنَ الْآخِرِينَ. Few from the later people will come. Thank you so much for this opportunity, and inshallah I hope that all this lecture will serve you, enlighten the community, and inshallah in Muharram we'll choose another topic for the month of Muharram, and we want to that to keep going inshallah. And believe me, it is very important, especially for our young speakers like Farhan, like Zain, like Ijlal, like Mu'in. It is very important to let your children see you taking this podium and speak. Because when he grow, he will try to follow your footsteps and be like you. And this will build his character, his demeanor. That is very important. That's one of the things which we lack in our community, that people, they didn't have character. No, we need to change that. Thank you so much. May Allah bless you. And please don't forget us in your dua. And I will conclude with the beginning. Fasting has direct relation with the taqwa. And without taqwa, there is no qabul from Allah, and there is no any benefit you get from the Quran. Sallu ala Muhammad wa alihi.